on the line. The excitement is absolutely paramount, Freddie, as we kick into the EU derby.
It's palpable. These are the two uncontested best teams coming out of Europe. Neither of them dropped a series. Hell, neither of them dropped a map.
Ooh.
NIP were only forced to double digits twice. Big were only forced to double digits once. And because this should have been the grand final matchup, this is what everyone assumed would be, but because of a slower start from Big earlier in this tournament, they're now meeting in the semi-finals.
So we'll kick off our first map here. Admittedly, I was a little disappointed with the veto, just because these are the three most boring maps, in my opinion.
Taking no Inferno slander.
You'll take it.
You've
and
been
you
brainwashed.
will accept it. We'll kick off here. Ooh, aim. All right,
Okay.
You know what? She came with fighting words. She put her money where her mouth is, at least in the very first round here. Double kill to kick things off for NIP. The bomb has been dropped, unfortunately, so now a bit of a scramble to recover for the big EQUIPA ladies. We get the first shot onto Kiara. Hanka absolutely clean with it. Can't quite replicate that, however, onto Vilga, who snaps back. Naomi to follow, and Astra's left all alone to 1v4. Oh, they lined up. There was a world. A little bit of ducking and diving means that AIM can survive just that little bit longer. 45 seconds left now. Going to be very difficult to get back to the bomb, which, as you can see, is very, very far away.
AIM's got a bit of bite to that bark. A massive improvement from the British rifler over the last few seasons, specifically from season 7 to season 8. She had a more than 0.16 HLTV rating progression upwards. That is pretty impressive from a player who was barely even scraping a positive rating a couple seasons ago. Now came out of Europe as 4th, 5th highest rated player, and it's really showing in not only her confidence and how that exudes into the rest of the team, but she's just taken a duel, heads up in Palace, drops the bomb, and may as well have won the round within the first 10 seconds. So a statement of intent from NIP coming out of the gates on their opponent's map Pig, who, Big, it's their map Pig, they did lose it on day 1, and it was actually a pretty tragic showing.
It was, rather. They stepped up massively on day 2 and looked like the Big that we were expecting, but...
Sorry, they didn't step up, Hanka stepped up.
Oh, good, yeah.
Yeah.
Good point. I mean, Kyosa started to show some signs of life, which we were happy for, but yeah, Hanka, what was it? The 5th best performance on a map, on a LAN of all time in Counter-Strike.
Since HLTV recorded.
Yeah, okay, but I mean, do we care about anything before HLTV, realistically?
Also, this eco is doing a lot of damage. Kiosa's picked up a FAMAS. Astra now with the MP9. It's a 2 versus 2. This is giving me flashbacks to the Imperial Valkyries game. NIP, they were losing so many unlosable rounds. The bomb is dropped, but Astra potentially getting a bit of a timing. They're running it down. AIM loses the gun jewel. Zana's 16 HP. How'd you like them apples? A full eco coming out the gates for Big Clan.
That's the kind of resurgence that we want to see. We talk about having some bark to the bite, or bite to the bark, rather. This is, of course, 2 teams that have I mean, bearing in mind, both of them came top of their group in EU. Both of them came out as the absolute darlings of their region to potentially walk away with the whole damn thing. We obviously had storylines around Imperial and the dynasty that they laid forward for us. Imperial walked so that these 2 teams could run, and they are charging their way here. And one of them, unfortunately, is going to have to go home at the end of this game. Now with the economy more or less reset, Zana's still going to come out with a rifle here to try and add a little bit of extra firepower into this. Maybe if Kiara can farm up some cash. AIM spots out some of these players, allows Vilga to get one, but Vilga gets run over. And that opens up a very easy pathway over towards B. Some Molotovs to try and slow things down a little bit, but it's not going to buy them a ton of time with only 3 players remaining. Zana now chunked devastatingly low. NIP yet to breach the site. 1 minute and 10 remaining. They could actually pivot, and Astra getting that kill now in towards jungle means that there's a pretty clear opening for them. They're going to make the rotation through Spawn. It's a bit of a long one, but there is presence on the A site still. So if anyone tries to come in and kind of head them off with the pass, there are people ready and waiting. And I think now, to NIP's credit, they've picked up an extra rifle. They're just going to chill for this one. You can have this round. We'll see you in the next.
a rather disappointing start to this series for NIP. Over in Dallas, when they were in the semifinals, nerves got to them. Obviously, the Supernova Comets back then deserved to win. They were the better team on the day, but that was because NIP didn't show up. And I'm already terrified that history might just repeat itself. Still very early doors. Obviously, it's only the 3rd round. But ASTRA getting a multi-kill on an eco, a player who has moved Hanka out of star positions because she takes so much control around the map, hasn't had a great tournament, played well against FlyQuest Red, because everyone played well. Against Let Her Cook, struggled immensely and was overshadowed by that aforementioned player. And we don't talk about the game against Sakura. So to already see ASTRA, who's in a very active role in this team, a lot of importance, already thriving, is a good sign of life if you are a big fan. And I know there's a lot of roaring bears down there on the ground.
Yeah, Freddy went and apologized to all of them yesterday. Turns out Freddy's actually a really nice person. He like gets on broadcast and has all this bravado and then afterwards goes to people and says, I'm really sorry about the things I said. ASTRA's not apologizing. We were screaming her name yesterday because of all the multi-kills that she just kept getting round after round. The spray downs were disgusting.
Ecos.
They were ecos, and this is another eco. But you know what? She's 7-2. Who cares how she's getting them? Fact is, she is having a absolute whale of a time here at the ESL Impact Finals. 3-1 now for Big EQUIPA. 2-round lead. Need to see some signs of life from NIP.
First gun round coming out now. Mirage played by NIP in the regular season, beating 888 Aura, and a narrow overtime victory against Let Her Cook. This is the first time that we're seeing them play it here in Stockholm. What are they going to be showing us? Sana, no AWP. And he's actually very early rotating over to support Vilgo, who's alone on B because of AIM's rotation towards A.
Apartments has been a pretty popular one here so far for Big. Looks like we're going to try and push this one 4 strong. Anka pops out the window. She's got free reign onto the site. First kill in her favor. Kiosta to double it up. The site capitulated. The bomb planted. And the lurk that they were starting to set up, can reposition now. They've realized no one's pushing out aggressively. Ooh, we're going to keep eyes just in case. This is really good from Big. Making sure that every kind of avenue is covered. And it's Viku of all people that's watching for this. But it's another round that they just kind of walk away with.
Yeah, just kind of, like all things considered, a pretty easy round for Big. And Viku, who has been struggling this LAN as well, I think that's kind of been the theme for Big, where we didn't necessarily see them step up as a cohesive unit in their qualification game to playoffs. You look at the MIBR squad, and you saw them like, okay, this is the MIBR that they're bringing into playoffs. They kind of showed as a team what they can produce against Atrix. Against Big, I actually came away from it more worried than anything, and I know that there was a bit of a crash out on the cast yesterday because of it. So to see like this really just kind of easy and prolific start, with also ASTRA, Viku getting some impact where they maybe struggled previously. This is a very just like bizarre start for NIP.
Not their map though. And they have really struggled economically as well. The reset's been a bit of a thorn in the side.
You mentioned it's not their map. The issue is, Inferno, sure it's their map, it's also Big's map pick. That's the kind of middle ground where we knew one person was going to pick into it. Who was it going to be? Big, they've got a second map at their disposal they can lean back on of the Mirage. So that Inferno, like, it's actually scary for NIP if they go onto that 0-1 down.
Unfortunately, it has been a game of catch-up with, I did mention the economy previously. Trying to save the rifles, trying to give themselves a little bit of a lifeline into each of these kind of following rounds. Making things a little bit spicy, keeping the rounds close. Hoping that they can break things enough that a one round could turn the tides in their favor. I haven't done enough damage just yet to make that a possibility. But Vilga hoping to get a little bit more damage in. Spots out Emzan. But Emzan makes the right call to just back out. And Vilga doesn't have a kit, so, well, she doesn't have a life either. Great shot from Viku. Shuts it out, shuts it down. We climb ever further.
I'm actually surprised she doesn't save there. There's no, I mean, she wasn't going to win that round. Saving the AK would have at least been beneficial into the following.
This thing about saving 3 rounds in a row, though. Feels kind of...
Yeah, but like it's playoffs. Like, who cares how it feels?
Fair.
MIP timeout. Getting Tensky early on the mic. New coach for NIP this season. Joining Zana as a new player. Nido Safix going over to the Falcons Academy project. Tensky, a very experienced player, has won international trophies, but doesn't have the most decorated coaching experience. A pretty failed project with Gamer Legion Academy. We were speaking about how good the coaches were in the first best of 3. This is a big moment for Tensky to get on the mic and empower his squad. As they just seem, obviously, very quiet. Why would they be loud? But it's the first round for Zana on the AWP, and I'm also looking Kiara, the highest rated player from the European regular season, to start lighting this server up.
Saying them obviously being a little bit quiet right now, but Vilga is notorious for being a hype woman bar none.
That whole team is, to be honest.
That's fair. But as the leader, there's a certain amount of gravitas that comes with that. So it'd be good to see her kind of getting a little bit more excited again. Mia gets an opener there, but gets swung on in return. That's going to leave an opening for Big to start making their way in on towards the site. Now Astra trying to clear out a little bit if she can, but NIP playing this a bit more safe. It's the right call to make. Got a bit of time to play with here so they can start getting those rotations into position. Naomi, I like that she's gone for the more elevated spot here. See if she can find a nice cheeky angle.
They know Astra's here. They just don't know how to deal with her. And because everything's gone so quiet, they're starting to double guess themselves.
Bit more utility just in case anybody's trying to get cheeky. Molotov to block, smoke comes down as well. Flash over top to allow Kiara to start moving in, but doesn't spot anything out. Big EQUIPA hiding away from all of these players. Astra finally gets that kill towards Murder Hole, and yes, they knew double time that she was there, but that MAC-10 continues to be a problem. Kiara and Vilga now, 2 versus 3. It's certainly possible, but it's such a tough ask now. Straight into Viku's waiting arms. And again, Vilga left in a position where she has to back away. And Astra's still here, still waiting. And Vilga's not an AWPer. And unfortunately can't get that final kill. The save not possible. And Big making a statement.
And especially after that tactical pause being called for NIP, Astra making the statement. 3 kills with the MAC-10, single-handedly with her raw mechanics, wins out that round. And also, what a fantastic call. I'm going to attribute that to Astra because she got into that aggressive position and just went, wait, everyone pause. I'm in a very strong position. They have to actively clear me out. Wait until I take contact. And exactly what they do. Kiara should have been in the round-winning position. Kiara went overlooked. There were so many smokes down around the top Kong and stairs area. She could have denied the bomb being planted. She could have very well easily garnered a multi-kill, but instead is very obsolete, and Astra on the MAC-10 is the hero of that round. As of now, with 7 rounds played, Big look convincingly like the better team.
I nearly had a slight heart attack there as Hanka was walking around with a second AWP on the T side, but she went to throw it off the they went to throw it off the map, so I breathed a bit of a relief.
It was funny. I actually did see that being Astra's killed the AWP with a MAC-10. They have an AWP. She wants to upgrade from the MAC-10, but it's an AWP.
What do? Get rid of it. Bye. Nobody needs that. We don't want to be handing that over for free. And it's an anti-eco. In what universe do you need 2 AWPs against an anti or against an eco? What I love about this, and I'm going to take this opportunity because, so we come into this season, and I think that the conversation has very much been NIP and Big for potential grand champion, right? Nobody's like fully discounting other regions, but these two teams have just looked that good throughout this season. So it's really been the two of them. Now NIP have looked, I think, the strongest, especially because in the kind of interim, ooh, hang on, this eco's got some legs on it. Zana has managed to snag a bit of a double kill here, stolen over two of the AKs in fact. The bomb hasn't actually gone down yet. They have space on the site. They're taking a bit of exploration to see if they can spot out some of these players. Molotov now to flush Viku off of her position, but hasn't quite created the opening that they want. They're still at a little bit of a deficit, but the retake is certainly a possibility. Viku gets run over. Kiosa is shut down, and it's all down to Emson. She has to play for this, and the smoke comes down to block her sightline. She could just spray. She's got a Molotov in hand, but timing is not on her side. She gets what she sprays. Oh my God! The spray and the Molotov, and all 3 of them burn alive. The fires of hell reach up to drag them down.
The homegrown hero clutches a 1v3 and doesn't even realize it. She was as shocked as we were. And if that smoke dropped in CT was just otherwise dropped on the bomb, that could have been a completely different round. NIP, ultimately, this was just a low-buy round. There was only a possibility because Zana gets a double kill with a 5-7. Naomi proving that maybe she is the better twinger. But unfortunately, Big stave off the offensive, and even though that was a force buy, and if you are competing, you should just be like, we did good damage anyways, they're gonna know they came so close, and currently they're so far behind, that is gonna sting.
I don't think I've seen 3 players melt to a single Molotov before.
The spray did help.
It certainly did.
Did do most of the damage.
But it's still absurd.
Oh, Hanka, that's...
Oh, okay. Emson does not, man, I'm still blown away by that one, but look at all this util damage.
2 and 8.
Look at this util damage that's come through in the interim though. Kiosa and Astra are also devastatingly low, and there you go, Kiosa will get cleaned up on. Hanka's still in the same spot, but they're so focused on Hanka they ignore Astra. Astra pulls the attention so Hanka can get the follow-up. Viku then gets the kill onto AIM, and Zana's all alone. 1 versus 2. This is an absolute lights-out performance from Big EQUIPA, just not allowing NIP to play the game.
I am shocked. I am gobsmacked. This was not on my scorecard. This is not what I expected. Look how dejected NIP look, and I do not blame them. It's 8 rounds in a row for Berlin International Gaming, and it's all come off the back of a full eco victory. NIP won the pistol round. Since then, they have been muzzled, they have been silenced, and Kiara, with a 1.41 HLTV rating in the regular season, the best player in the whole goddamn ESL Impact League in the online season, is currently sitting 2 and 8.
The pressures of the semi-final may yet be cracking in on this squad as Astra goes ahead and gets yet 1 more kill. She's 12 and 4, by the way.
What a step up. What a rejuvenated performance from her.
And they're not all ecos. Look at her go. Naomi and Kiara hand in hand hold down this bomb site, but can't do it for terribly long. Do they know that Vilga's here? Did she make noise? Zana's met up with her though, and it's Zana to get that kill. Vilga will get shut down. Zana follows it up, and at goddamn last, NIP show up to the party.
Finally as well, where the nightmare started, on that B bomb site is where it all began. This time, the next time that the B site was hit, they come out on top. I almost thought M-Sam was gonna deliver us another gut-punching clutch, but instead, finally, that's what we want to be seeing from the British rifler, getting loud and getting her teammates rallied. It's hard to get them rallied when everything's going so poor, and it might just fall all back down to square one, because look how much pressure Big are putting on the B bomb site, but instead, it's the bomb being dropped in apartments, and they have just been smelted down.
All right, Nip woke up. Solid performance from these 2 players here, hand in hand towards B, and the kill in towards the connector as well. That just gives them that little bit of extra firepower. I wasn't even sure that Vilga was going to get too much done there. I thought that maybe she gets checked and it all just falls apart, but no, in fact, as that utility starts to come out, they head big off at the pass. They don't even allow them to cross that threshold. And between the two of them, they get those first two opening kills and don't allow that movement to come through. NIP now have finally woken up, but you've got to ask the question, is it too little too late as we head now into the final round of the half? And it's not even a dominant economic standing for NIP. It's still going to have to be even Stevens. It's still going to have to be something they claw through.
This is certainly a position where NIP, they can turn their fortunes around. If they get 4, win the second pistol round, boom, they are right back in the game. And I've seen it all too often where a team looks like they're just going to sprint to victory, but with how the state of CS2 is, it's never really a given. So you don't want to count your chickens too early, and it's not over till the fat lady sings. And for Big, they're slowing it down. Last round, fast play didn't work. A lot of players on a different page. I'll be honest, I don't know if everyone knew what they were supposed to be doing. This time, more reserved. And NIP, they're just given over mid. They've actually never really fought for mid whatsoever. So far, it's worked for Big, but Kiosa caught around the fog of war.
That's a devastating way for that round to start for Big. Such a small gap to find the advantage, and Astra runs straight through, utterly dry. Naomi nearly follows it up, but somehow managing to survive. Hanka with a nasty little swing, with a second right behind her. A demon in the server, and again, not for the first time, Zana with such an uphill battle ahead of her. 1 versus 4 to find them this 4th round. Misses the shot onto Hanka. Will find it with the USP, but time not on her side. Kit not in hand. Flashed out to slow her down, making it that much more difficult. Both Orphans miss their shot. She misses a second, and that allows Astra to put her down in the ground. Big go into the half, 9-3.
Guys, it's no problem, guys. I have full city. I got to go here. They have no kit, guys. You can play time also. Stairs. I'm on tank. You need help?
No. I go on drops. I'm full going.
They're pushing. Go closer A. Drops. I'm with you.
Taking cross. Bomb molly on me. Molly on me for bomb.
They have no kit.
No kit, yeah. You don't have to spam.
No problem. No! Fucking easy! Easy!
Falling
A thick, melancholy haze hangs over NIP's head. I've never seen bears fly before, but they are currently soaring to the heavens. 9-3 to the good on the opening map in the second semi-finals here in Stockholm at the ESL Impact Season 8 finals. This is a shocking result.
Definitely did not expect this. Not even thinking about which team could have won it. I didn't think it was going to be this one-sided. But let's see now if NIP can find the wind beneath their own wings as AIM cracks open the site, but does get traded back quite handedly. And Kiyosa, good for 2, but also return serve from Kiara leaves Hanka all alone. Pops out the smoke. Woo! That was a little bit scary. But it's Vilga that comes out on top. Vilga versus Hanka, I think, is a matchup that I was more anticipating more than I had thought. And it's been fun so far.
Also, Hanka, all those grand finals that she would have played in, the vast majority, if not all of them, were played against the Vilga iteration of Imperial Valkyries. The one that springs to mind, sorry, not Imperial Valkyries, Enigma Galaxy. The one that springs to mind is the 13-0 win on second map to win out the best of 3 in Valencia Season 4 finals. Like, that was kind of the level of where Enigma Galaxy were back then. And Vilga, amusingly enough, kicked, but then wins the 1v2 against Imperial on this LAN to win out the map. And now she's fighting for a spot in the grand finals. Big. They lose the second pistol. But for NIP, they've currently got 4 rounds, 2 of which were from the pistol round, which is not a good scoreline.
No, it isn't.
No.
No. Thank you, sir.
Just wanted to clear the air.
Okay.
Might be some Overwatch fans in.
Well, the stage has moved. They're nowhere near us now.
Well, who wouldn't make the trek and the pilgrimage to the ESL Impact stage?
Clearly all of them.
I love that they're against a full USP round and they're getting excited because they know we can't take any ecos for granted.
Step by step, 1 round at a time. As James Bardolph always says, focus on the round in front of you. For NIP, that does seem to be the mantra that they have to live by for the next, I want to say, minimum 3 rounds. Then we can start feeling some comfort.
Yeah, speaking about progression though, like there was a point in time where everyone on NIP just didn't have any kills. Kiara was 2 and 8. Naomi, like they were all basically within that same like 5-2 kill point at like round 10. If you take a look at their kills right now, there is potentially a silver lining. If there is one to be grasped, that there is quite a lot of consistency, and that has been the praise of NIP and was certainly shown so far in the first day, and especially against Atrix. Everyone just played super well, and right now everyone's playing at like a medium level, so can everyone raise the floor?
Trying to find a kill there just as the smoke blooms, but ooh, I like this. I like this wrap through the spawn. My God, Viku turns her back for half a second. Kiara lobs her head clean off. Hanka can't win against one of the twins. Vilga comes to back her up, but with those 2 players taken offline, it was honestly, I don't hate it from Big. The idea was good, but Hanka was ready for it. And hand in hand now, they're gonna make even more noise over towards this A site. Feigning they're feigning the, hey guys, we got 2, A's clear. Meanwhile, bomb's going B. They're gonna figure that out very, very quickly, as now the kill onto Vilga has come through and literally nothing else is happening. But let's face it, do you even try at this point?
Everyone loves a try. God loves a try. ASTRA, giving this a punt it seems. Will Kiara get caught off guard? Nope. No, not at all. 2 and 8 her scoreline was. She's now 12 and 10. That is actually kind of a ridiculous turnaround. And I think it came exactly from the point when I went 2 and 8. That's not the scoreline you were posting in the regular season. Well, you know, she told me to shut up apparently.
Yep. You know that video AIM made? That was for you. Just right now, like preemptively. They knew you were going to say some dumb stuff.
It's unfair that Mia can say these things on broadcast, but we can't.
She's doing it for us.
She's doing it for us.
Yeah. She's taking the bullet.
Okay, so as much as it's great that NIP have strung 3 rounds together and have at least made this look on the face of it more contestable and have also won the first gun round, they still are 3 rounds behind. So Big still do have that lead, and if I'm Big, the benefit of having that such dominant first half is that you can get away with losing the pistol round. You can get away with losing the first gun round. And especially because of the save, they're actually going to keep the pressure applied. They're going to force back into it. And look at that from Astra. She's getting super aggressive middle, saying, there's no one here. Look at the extremities. And because of that, Viku already onto A. Astra already coming back up con. There's 3 players ready and waiting for the NIP executes.
You're absolutely right. There's a handful of rounds that you can afford to lose, but we're getting to that point now where you really can't anymore, especially with the economy looking the way that it is. So, a resurgence from Big is exactly what's needed here. Solid utility here for the exec, but the smoke in towards Palace gives a little bit of pause. Unfortunately, Viku gets cut down. Astra's so quick to follow. Hanka hasn't been cleared. Never mind. Yes, she has. Aim just goes nuclear. Bomb to get planted. And all Big's best laid plans for this round go utterly awry. Will they be allowed to save? Kios is like, allowed? There's no allowing. I will be taking my gun, thank you.
That was actually a really cool execute. I was super worried when I saw just no real pressure put around the map. They did throw a late con smoke and a window smoke, but Big didn't bite on that. They heard nothing mid. They went, yeah, we're not taking the bluff. It's going to be a sight hit, an extremity hit. Viku under Palace. Well, started on balcony. She went under Palace because she got mollowed off from top balcony. Then goes into under balc, but then a late second mollow lands at her feet. It actually missed, but she swung out anyways, but the premise is there. And she swung out right into the flashbang coming in over ramp, and the players encroaching. So you have this just perfect execute from NIP. They knew exactly where Big were going to be standing. See there, Naomi. Viku just swings into her crosshair. Mollo did miss, but it still got the kill anyways.
Freddy's a fiend about missed utility. But it's the hard-hitting analysis that helps us know exactly what happened and what to potentially expect into the next few rounds. Time out now, Freddy. What do you think they're chatting about? Give us the hard-hitting analysis.
Stay calm.
Okay.
I don't even really know what you talk about right now. I suppose, what's the economy like? 'Cause they saved 2 players.
Yeah.
Okay, they're still going to go for a purchase, but there's there's chinks in the armor. Like Viku doesn't have full util. I maybe see Astra getting more aggressive in middle. Potentially noticing that like, hey, they're not going to be testing it too much. But instead, Astra, even though she jumps out a window, very quickly subsides. And this is a very similar round for NIP. The only difference is Kiara's putting more pressure in middle to take more of their attention.
Anchor now not allowed to get too aggressive.
Surely they don't go for the smoke. With that smoke ramp, I'm pretty sure NIP have to just cancel. But no, they want to go through that ramp smoke.
Flash themselves through. And they've thrown a lot of smokes down to give themselves a little bit of cover in on towards the site. But Hanka is here. That's rough. That's really rough. Doesn't quite manage to connect the shots. And so NIP come alive on the ingress. Kiara pushes through in towards jungle to ensure that a return can't be given. And again, Msan left. I'm having some deja vu here, but in reverse.
Okay, yeah. So you asked me what needs to be spoken about. Big are sitting too much on their laurels. They're actually playing very scared, which is weird to think of. They had that 9-3 half. Like, there is no proactivity. Maybe due to the fact that in the first gun round, they did have that dynamism. They did go and push double ramp, and they just got caught on a weird timing. Not gonna lie, I think that was just unlucky. There was about 2 seconds where Viku was not perfectly covered by Hanka, and Kiara found that 2-second gap. So you have Big in back-to-back rounds who have just sat onto the bomb site. Lo and behold, NIP have had a really clean execute. The lurk through Con as well as the different layer, the second layer, I guess, in this round of Kiara. But that's 2 very, very simple rounds for NIP, and Big have done nothing to thwart their plans. They've actually just, yeah, been very stagnant.
Not the look we want to be seeing. But it is nice to hear the cheer wars going on. We said it, like, this is the game where we'll probably have the biggest turnout of fans. Maybe not the loudest, because Pop Pop still exists. But
Yeah, she is worth 20 men.
truly. But certainly numbers that have shown up in their droves to see which one of these 2 teams can book their ticket. And now with NIP bringing this to only a 1-round deficit. We started the half at 9-3. Big haven't picked up a round yet.
And it's been really one-sided. Like, I was kind of saying it when it was 6-9, I was like, okay, let's not get, let's hold our horses. But every single round, I'm just getting a little bit more tentative. And a very similar setup for Big, where Hanka's jiggling close ramp with a smoke. ASTRA's in sandwich. They've played that position actually the last 3 rounds, and it hasn't gone very well. NIP, once again, have the layer, the land in front of them. They drop mid utility, and they're just going to potentially... Oh, they did miss a window smoke. I mean, they can still just run up short and split mid to B, and there's 2 defenders with no rotations.
Yeah, I mean, considering mid presence hasn't really been much of a thing on this map, missing that smoke isn't the biggest problem in the world here, but Viku gets a nice little opener for herself, and she's in a good spot to potentially follow it up, so NIP realize pushing that not going to be the best idea. Oh, Naomi catches Astra with her back turn. A smoke comes up, Hanka trying desperately to stay alive. Naomi
has to know she's in the smoke. They think she's
Oh
round.
my god, they have no idea. She pushes back through, gets the kill, first up. Now Zana knows where she is, or rather Naomi for that matter. But it's 2 versus 2. And oh my god, Viku shut down Zana. This round was looking so doable, but it's fallen through their fingertips. Viku comes up massive. She was a huge point of conversation yesterday, showing exactly why again today.
Viku brings them down with the sharpest fang. We had all our attention on that A-bomb side. We had all our attention on Hanka, but the whole reason why this round did not go the way of NIP is because of that Polish AWPer opening proceedings. Burst over an apartment saying knock knock, rent is due, but then also not being blocked when she transitioned from the B apartments too short. NIP had a Molotov, but they don't proactively drop the Molo. They drop it after the first player's died, and then guess what? Viku runs through it anyways. A massive, massive show of individualism and confidence coming out to put Big for their first round on the docket in this second half and to keep their lead maintained.
And there's such a fine line between confidence and overconfidence, right? Like we were talking about it with Olga in the previous one.
Yeah.
And there were moments where it was like she just keeps running out. And a lot of the time she gets like a 3-person spray down and then that bolsters that confidence, but then there's a step too far.
Yeah.
So far, Big have done a decent job of keeping that reined in, but it's the first round they've been able to pick up in this second half. They can't allow that to kind of spiral out of control. This is that moment where you tread the line between confidence and overconfidence. And there it is. There's the line.
Right there, Hanka getting way too aggressive over on ramp. That's probably why they're not going for any aggressive plays, because every time, well, I mean, they've only got aggressive ramp, quite literally only towards ramp. So, there are other parts of the map, but that's an instant 5 versus 4 for NIP, and they're just going to slow things down. However, Big, they're taking matters into their own hands. They're clearing out middle, but it's a fugazi. Naomi hears all of this because she's in ladder room.
Gets Kiyosa in the back. MSAN now has to somehow anchor, being pushed in from multiple directions, and while she can get one, she won't be long for the world. This round feels like a little bit of a foregone conclusion. NIP lose 1, but very quickly clap back. Now, Astra has been a multi-kill monster, but today, right now, she won't be allowed. I love the high five on the fist. That's good.
It's a constant battle as a coach of how to Do they want high five? Do they want fist bumps?
Are they actually going to notice?
Yeah, like it's honestly a constant battle. But what's also a battle in this game is Big on their map pick, seeming unable to do aggression on the CT side. Like, you asked me when there was a tactical call, like, what do you say? I was like, I don't really know what to say right now. But it was the next round that I went, yep, actually, that's the issue. That right there is the consistent issue. It's Big either not doing aggression or not understanding how to do aggression properly. This time, guys, communication. Guys, are we talking to each other? How is Zana alive? Astra's got 2 with the 5-7. There's mostly unarmored players. History is repeating itself. I've seen this one before.
How's that happened? Okay, communication's certainly an issue, as you pointed out, but I do love what Big has done after that, right? Like, so they get those opening kills. There's a couple of trades that make it a bit scary. Astra goes, you know, I'm going to back away. Could try and get cheeky and try and steal a gun. I'm just going to back out. See if we can still find some way to recover this. Now, she's moved over and taken a very aggressive position in towards mid here. She wants to be scary, catches them off guard, baits for Emzan, and the spray down is perfect. Okay, Emzan only gets one of them. Astra does the cleanup onto the final one, but Big in an eco round with a little bit of a surprising turn of events. That change up in the aggression, and NIP have no idea what to do with it.
2 players had armor. 2 players had armor. That is the second, I guess not full eco. The first one was a full eco, but may as well put them in the same bracket. Astra's got 6 out of the 10 kills in both of those rounds, single-handedly winning the latter. Now, if there's ever a rock to be hit and an iceberg to sink your ship, I think that's the round. Very reminiscent of the Imperial Valkyrie games, where it went to full 23 rounds, and within those 23 rounds, NIP had 18 of the opening kills. They lost to ecos, they lost to clutches, they lost to force buys, and they still had the resilience. They have to seriously dig deep now and show why they are born champions.
Scariest thing about a 9-3 half is that all it takes is 2 rounds for the pressure to start setting. Oh my god, Vilka!
Timing.
Oh, that's devastating.
That's
and
it.
AIM gets baited into the crosshairs of Viku as well. A miracle now needed for NIP. There's a world, but is it this one? Naomi's found herself up connector, walks into Astra, and Astra continues her reign of terror and dominance. 21-13 is where she sits currently. Been such an impressive force throughout the weekend. And a win here could be devastating for the economy for NIP, puts them on map point. Yes, it's Big's map pick, and maybe you kind of expect them to walk away with this win, and it's been cool to see NIP have had and shown some signs of life. But is it going to be enough now? With 15 seconds left, it looks like it is just going to be a save, because again, economy is a disaster. You want to keep that up, that 1 AK, and hope to God you can make that stay of execution in the next.
NIP have lost the right to end off this map in regulation. Big will have 3 map points. It is their map pick. However, looking ahead at Inferno, Big have already won on that map twice this event. It's the meeting of the greats on Inferno. It's both teams' je ne sais quoi map. So that makes me a little bit scared for an NIP side that's not looking too energetic. It's not exactly like they're going onto a map where they're the favorites. Like, it's going to be a very hotly contested affair. And currently, Big, led at the helm by Astra, is looking like the favorites to be meeting NIPR in the grand finals. And especially for Hanker and Viku, they know the feeling of tasting success all too well, but having it ripped away from underneath them. And NIP, this is just Dallas 2.0, looking fantastic in groups, get to playoffs, drop the ball.
Ball's not quite on the floor just yet. We're in that cinematic slow motion moment. The ball is so close to the bottom. Let's see if a little hacky sack moment can keep them alive a little bit longer. Now aggression in towards mid. CT smoke blooms, they stall. Wait for a little bit of information here. The bomb's posturing main. They've already thrown out some good execute till they don't clear ASTRA. Yes, they do. Despite the flash, ASTRA shut down, but Hanka will trade it back. And they've left MSAN alone on the site here. Only good for the first. I don't know how Zana survives. Gets the kill onto MSAN, but finally Hanka will shut it down. 2 players remaining for NIP. Vilga is one of them, and she's in tandem with Kiara, trying desperately to stem the tide from the connector position. Doesn't know where these last 2 players are. There's an inkling, gets flashed in towards jungle. Says, yo, there's no one here. We'll keep eyes towards the ramp now. Less than a minute remaining to get the bomb planted. Oh, the crosshair. It's so close, it's so scary. But that bomb will go down. How do we position? Where are the openings? 1 Molotov is all that remains. Oh my God. Hand in hand, the 2 shots connect at the exact same time, and Big EQUIPA devastate the NIP camp. The cosmetic comeback, well, it was just that, Freddy. It was cosmetic.
Pressure forms diamonds, but NIP implodes under the weight as Big glistens.
Side of this map.
I'm scared though for NIP. If they play like they did on map 1, and if ASTRA plays like she did on map 1, this could be a very short semi-finals. But NIP fans, Big fans, come together now and make some noise.
There it is. Let's kick things off now. It's a low and slow start here in the pistol round. I do like this. I think the pressure, as we said, starting to rise, but Kiara is going to get that first kill. Kiasa gets caught out a little bit there, that aggression that we spoke about a bit earlier on, perhaps that overconfidence here. In a pistol round, you want to try and get that early advantage if you can, and unfortunately, it's snatched away from them. Now MSAN has repositioned herself.
Okay.
And Viku gets the kill onto Kiara before any shenanigans can happen there, but MSAN will be put down. The one Swede not going to be allowed to finish out this round as aim goes nuclear. She did this in the first pistol round in the previous map as well, and has left ASTRA to try to pick up the pieces. We've seen her get multiple multi-kills over the course of the last couple of days. 4 kills is what it's going to have to take. No kit on board, no time at her back. She'll put the enemy team at her back and head on out.
Pistol queens at NIP. Issue is they struggle on the anti-ecos. Feeling very reminiscent of the first map, the first round even. AIM getting a multi-kill to kick things off. NIP won both pistol rounds on Mirage. Struggled to find success in more of a longevity space. But currently, they've put themselves in the driving seat and they're hoping to park their car in a third map. But Inferno isn't going to be too easy. It's not going to be too dandy for them as both teams are extraordinarily apt on this map. This is kind of the battle of the greats on the perfect playground to do so. Big, they looked flawless against FlightQuest. They've beaten Imperial. They've actually owned Imperial on LAN on this map. And NIP, they've yet to play Inferno in this tournament, but online, they utilized it superbly. And now it's those dreaded ecos.
It can get so very, very spicy. All right, one smoke out. Allows Vilga a little bit of a walk up here, spots out the stack, takes a lot of damage trying to deal with it, and does a little bit herself, but there's no cleanup. It does pull the rotation from that entire stack, meaning they know the A site's free and clear. Now ASTRA, aim? Slightly questionable, but that's okay.
What are we doing?
She's the bait play, you know, just in case there's somebody there, the rest of her team there to back her up and get those final kills here. But
nades.
Oh, that's disgusting. I was like, there's a world full of people with USPs running at you, but no. When the chunky nade chunks you down, there's not too much more to be done.
So a lot of people right there would be like, eco-frag and Naomi. I'm sitting there thinking, thank God someone got a multi-kill against the ecos. Thank God someone killed all the ecos. But this is when the going is going to get seriously tough. The one thing I find the scariest about Big EQUIPA on this map is the fact that ASTRA and Hanka play B together. How terrifying is that? That you have to play against those two on Banana. That is, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. So it's going to be a very tough challenge for NIP. And guess what? First round, they just go, not even going to want to amuse that.
This game certainly makes a change of pace from the first 2 days that we've had. In a lot of explosive Counter-Strike. So to see the more slow, methodical. Bit of util bait early on. Big have some solid Banana control here, but they've used so much very early on. NIP haven't even been concerned with it. A dry peek from Vilga ends in disaster.
No trade either.
Oh, I thought Viku was going to catch Zana there, but no. Reposition is good. She eventually does. Not in the way I anticipated, but it does happen. The Twins find the opening on towards the site. Viku's eventually overrun. And this bomb can be planted, the last two players. It's the duo you mentioned, the terrifying twosome, ASTRA and Hanka now. 2v2. Naomi very low. A stray bullet would do it. But still Kiara to contend with. And no information at all. There's an idea, a thought, a possibility, but nothing confirmed. ASTRA, wow, okay. I thought she might just be the bait play there, but no, gets the first kill, gets traded, Hanka shuts it down, defuse to come through, and deja vu all over
again. 10-second defuse.
Maybe? Yeah.
Oh, okay. By the skin of their teeth, by our whisker. But a little bit scary, never in doubt. Apart from I definitely doubted that. Realistically, NIP had no right in winning that round in the first place. Very poor trade spacing. Felt like they weren't on the same page, which is not normally what we associate NIP with. They're this cohesive unit. They're like a hive mind. They're one person. They're possibly the funniest people to just observe.
Yes.
And yet we're watching them on the T side not have that cohesiveness. Viku just able to isolate Jules and get away far too easily. And even though the Twingers are able to get 2 kills apiece, that isn't enough. Their efforts are in vain. So it's an early round for Big on the board, but NIP keeping pressure very much alive. Issue is they walk into the duo that just clutched up the first round.
It does go a little bit scary for Big regardless. Hanka drops, ASTRA takes a bit of damage, but they get that numbers advantage. They can feed some information back as well. Nothing being heard so far anywhere else. I was about to say that the A contingent have done well to kind of block off that information, but now we know it's kicking off. AIM gets the kill onto Emson, but Viku is still here and is still terrifying. AIM literally flies through the window, but is ultimately shot down, and Kiara has to clutch. The double swing is good, and it's another round in the back pocket. Around and round we go, back and forth. Which one is going to take that lead and run with it?
Back-to-back rounds for Big, and they're going to break the economy of NIP. And it's another fairly simple affair over towards that A bomb site. Trades just not really there in time. I mean, AIM does literally just Hail Mary out of apartments, but it's like that's kind of the only layer of success. This is a rough start on their attack. Haven't conditioned anything necessarily. And Big, you can see how confident they are, especially Viku. She's had in all the rounds they've won so far, massive impact. Been stopping that execute on towards the A bomb site with a rifle. Hasn't even got out her primary weapon of the AWP yet. And I've seen Viku on many different playoffs and finals for that matter. Kind of just crumble, to be honest. There's a few, like with the last time it was a full Polish Na'Vi Javelins, they were up 11-3 against Fluxo in groups, and not only did the whole team crumble, but Viku was definitely at the helm of that crumble. So to see her, especially in this map and in this series and this tournament, looking very aggressive and confident and smiling, it's a very good look, but also a very scary look for anyone on the other side.
People talk about distracting charms. I don't know if you saw Hanka's charm. That thing is, it's standing up. Okay, it fell down now. It was like up and like in her face. It was really weird. No distractions allowed here though. A clean spray down. Keeps Big in the money and feeling confident. And it must be said, this feels like, I don't want to take anything away from Big. They are playing incredibly well. But it does feel like a little bit of a neutered NIP. And as we came into this series, gave a very kind of broad stroke of their history. Season 5 didn't qualify. Season 6, no playoffs. Season 7, playoffs, but no final. Finally, they get here. It's been an uphill battle, and they've had consistent improvement, but they've always hit that wall. They've always struggled to get to where they want to be, and it feels like this might be another situation.
Since Vilga's arrival, it's only been an upward trajectory.
Yeah.
They hadn't made a finals till Vilga's appearance. And also upgrading the likes of Zana. Her replacing Ramzin is through and through, should be the difference maker. But right now, it's not showing that way. Hanka luckily runs out of bullets. NIP, they would have been mowed down. But right now, even though they're scathed, even though they're battered and bruised, still 5 alive. But look at the dynamism. I was critiquing Big and how on the CT side of Mirage, they weren't maneuvering themselves around the map enough. Look at what they're doing to get all this information and force NIP into the executes.
Broken but not beaten. Astra gets the first. Astra gets both in fact, but eventually gets put down. Bomb will be planted. And all the low HP players have been taken off board, but Kiosa with a spam through the smoke gives them that numbers advantage, gives them that opportunity to potentially take things back into their control. Inferno is notorious for just saving when that bomb is planted. But Big EQUIPA want to make a bit of a statement onto this round, and so they shall. Flash over the top, but it's a team flash. Kiosa has to slow down ever so slightly, gives Kiara the opportunity. Double kill, aim to follow it up, and well, maybe it should have been the save. You couldn't have called it at the time, but NIP come up.
Run me with a replay right now. Kiara's kill onto Astra. Run me a replay right now. She just broke her wrist to get that opening kill, and then also gets 2 in the end. Look at this. Look, watch Kiara. Oh, okay, not as much of a snap as I expected. Okay, I definitely misjudged that one. To me, it looked like she was watching CT and then flicked over. I misjudged that completely. Unlucky. Get wrecked, I guess. Regardless, though, a massive round from Kiara, who started off very, very slow. She was 2 and 8, but then really built her way back into Mirage. And now on Inferno, saves the day from a disadvantageous position. The dance of utility over on Banana, and actually Big just relinquishes control. Not as much damage done as the previous round.
Maybe not a broken wrist, but certainly some damaged economy off the other side of that one. Despite everything, it's a little bit uncomfortable at the moment. Go back into a more stable push.
Oh my god, they're so loud.
I love it.
I'm here for it.
More of that, please. More of the yelling.
I also love that the Roaring Bears, you know, they're a fan club for like the kind of main big men's team. So to see them all travel from all across Germany and all across Europe to come here specifically for Big EQUIPA actually kind of warms my heart. So big shout out to them for being a fan of the organization, not just one team.
We saw Tabson in the crowd as well.
Yeah, he looked
Pretty
happy
cool
to be there.
Okay, we're on the site. Ooh, a little bit labored there. Naomi gets in behind the enemy lines. Double kill from her. I don't think she did. I think she just kind of held M1 and kept going. Bomb plant as well. Last 2 players split from one another. Opting not to go for the buddy system here. It's a good understanding of where these players will more than likely be holding from. So we tap, tap, tap. See if we can bait something out or possibly hit a stray bullet. Hanka trying to take this space now, making a lot of noise doing it. Astra does find that kill onto aim, but the site hasn't been cleared, and Naomi baits Astra out, so the final kill can connect, and it's one more round in the pot.
This is a very impressive showing from Naomi. A lot of the focus in this Twinja duo is around Kiara, but people forget it was either season 6 or season 5, Naomi was actually the outlier. She was the highest rated or second highest rated player coming out of the European regular season. And then kind of the roles maybe switched more to favor Kiara. But Naomi was the first, especially in this NIP squad, to really show how truly individually great she is. And especially in this map when the going's getting tough, she's pulling her team by the scruff of their neck. So it's NIP to reclaim the lead, but those ecos, those USPs, that flashbang on Astra, that stack on the B-bomb site, NIP are looking to come in here, and one good flashbang could be a little bit scary.
One Tech 9 for the information is all they really need. Triple kill before the trade eventually comes through, and there was a world in which they pivot, but with so many kills to be collected, there's no sense in it. Just run over this last player. I know it's Astra, but how much can she really do? Yet one more round, that's 4 kills for Kiara. Mac 10 go Burr, anti-eco, whatever. It's a big lead now. NIP have certainly woken up.
$2,400, we'll take that all the way home to the bank. Astra has just a skill in these eco rounds. In the 2 ecos they won on Mirage, she got 2 kills, then 4 kills, and then got another 2 kills in that round. I don't know what it is, but when she has a USP or a pistol in her hand against rifles, she's the best player in the world. But it's Viku out on the AWP, Zana out on the AWP. It's the first time that we've got both teams wielding their big green. Zana, a very quiet series so far for her, and Hanka gives her the little jiggle, forces out the shot, the flashbang comes in, but Naomi playing anti-flash, and now that is a breaking race. She flicks onto Hanka's head and also saves her AWPer in the process.
A lot of util down to slow the ingress, but not going to make the biggest difference in the world yet. Now Astra once again playing the anchor position. A little bit of damage connects, but can't quite find the final kills, and Naomi will just keep ticking that number over. Keeps being an absolute demon. And that's going to be yet one more round.
I was talking quite highly about the Astra and Hanka duo over towards the B-bomb site, but to be honest, I've been maybe a little bit disappointed, like even in that round. I mean, I don't think they do anything inherently wrong in that round. It is just more so the fact that Naomi hits a really, really good shot. But that B defense not necessarily holding up as successfully as they were over in the previous game against FlyQuest Red. A save to be coming in from Viku and Msan. As NIP, for the first time in this series, taking a dynamic lead. They're putting rounds on the board in a row. And on their map pick, showing why they picked into Inferno. Great reactions, great awareness from Naomi. Really kind of hats off to her and her map she's having right now. 12 and 4, she is standing head and shoulders above the rest.
Don't want to be that person. Msan's having a bit of a rough time of it. And we've seen it, right? Every time they come anywhere near her, she just kind of run over. And again, taking an aggressive position here. Oh, the smoke in her way. She can't catch any of the rotators moving their way towards library. So it might just be a repeat of what's happened so many times before. But finally, no, she gets herself on the board. That aggression pays off. And the final vestiges of this NIP roster have an uphill battle ahead of them. But Kiara's found her way onto the site. She's caught off Hanka in the rotation. She split the last 2 big players. The bomb can actually get planted. And it's Viku and Astra who are still alive.
And they should know where Astra is because she changed weapon. AIM should have heard that. And they know Viku's also with the long over towards long.
Kiara gets spotted, but Astra bleeding and bruised, has to back away, even if just for a moment. The Molotov to flush. Kiara doesn't care what Molotov, but Viku does finish that meal. Leaves her all alone versus AIM. No kit online here. Time ticking away. Doesn't check the correct angle, and it's AIM to keep things going. NIP continue a dominant reign in this first half.
Someone's given a miscomm there, Viku, or maybe, I don't know, Viku seems fixated on default. She has no other thought in her head that AIM could have maneuvered around that bomb site. So actually a very underwhelming end to the 1 versus 1. You can see AIM just be like, oh, okay. She just crouched into my crosshair. But a massive round coming out from the GB representative, heralding from the north of England. 7-3 for NIP Impact. And even though MSAN is on the board for the first time, that wasn't enough. And even though it was a 5 versus 3, a 4 versus 2, that wasn't enough.
2 rounds yet remain in the half. Big EQUIPA on a little bit of a knife's edge now. Decent bit of lost streak, so should still be all right into the next round, win or lose. But a win would be quite nice. We did see a 9-3 half in the first map, and it went in favor of the team that had the lead, understandably, but it got dangerously close. So let's see if we find ourselves in that scenario once more.
Oh my God.
Just gets naded out of existence. AIM, while full blind, shuts Viku out entirely. They're just taking a moment to get that util out. You know, it's really important to set up your teammates for success, and they'll make sure that you survive the swing. So all 5 players still alive here. Naomi's dropped the bomb! No, they've got in without her. They've still got time though, but it's of the essence. And Hanka is all alone. 1 versus the world, has shut down Vilga, but now they know she's here. Unfortunately, 30 seconds remain. She's picked up an AK, and my God, by the skin of their teeth, they recover that round.
Why are they making that round scary? Why are they actually making that a little bit worrisome? In the end, 3 players stay alive, so it's kind of like, doesn't really matter. But I was thinking, Hanka just posted the 5th best LAN rating since HLTV were tracking statistics yesterday. There's only one that can pull off a 1 versus 5. It's probably her. But in the end, it's NIP showing us a very similar T-side than what they showed on Mirage. Big just sitting on the bomb side, NIP executing on, all the utility perfectly placed. And that was actually one of the Newt corner statistics. First day, talking about how good the util is for NIP. I'm starting to understand, but a taste of their own medicine as shrapnel blows up Naomi.
Frey was damn near pacing when that round ended. Got a little bit scary. I say Big should still be okay into this round. It's not great by any measure. The Masters and an MP9 are all that remain of the buy. Spattering of utility. They've kept 3 strong over towards B. This has been where they've had the best success so far. It does make some sense. Aggressive with the flash. Kiosa gets chunked down dangerously, but Viku's still good for 1. Unfortunately, they all funnel into the crosshairs, but they've done perhaps enough. The bomb is dropped once again, and AIM is caught all alone.
She doesn't realize it, but Kiosa's actually just completely given up the space because MSAN's so far away, so Kiosa doesn't want to overextend on 2 HP. AIM, though, not choosing to stay back, actually just getting aggressive, and this will play to her benefit if she can isolate Kiosa before MSAN rotates in, but the timing, I think it's going to elude her. MSAN looking for the backstab and secures it. It's 4 for Big. It's not much, but they can definitely work with that.
Guys, she pushed deep up.
Yeah, can we just be, yeah, let's go. Flash?
Maybe phone call.
No, flash CT.
Maybe phone call.
First box somewhere, first box. Person, I don't know. First.
Nice.
Triple, nice.
Nice, good job.
3v3, guys, you got this.
Guys, I have behind, okay, the flash mid one. I have re-smoke for some
Yeah, I will go dark. CT's coming.
I re-smoke CT.
Yeah, me, I'm playing dark and I'm aiming CT.
Do you have any?
No, I have nothing. I have nothing. I think you should just play together. I'm gonna go to her.
Okay.
Clear, but could be friends, careful. Yes. Ruins one.
I'm gonna go blue, okay?
Get CT, VP is gonna hold you.
CT.
She always play CT. Maybe 2 ruins, 1 CT.
I'll smoke ruins.
Yes, play in front of it. You can play in front of ruins. Pushing. That number ruins.
I have CT.
And the VP alive. Throw. Nice! Nice!
it's time for you to step into the light, spread your little wings and start to fly. 'Cause you just need to love the life you're living. Step into the light. See all the colors, don't fade back into gray. And remember, it's only just begun. Somehow you gotta let yourself go. No point in hiding in the shadows. 'Cause all you gotta do is believe. Step into the light, spread your little wings and start to fly. 'Cause you just need to love the life you're living. Step into the light. Spread your little wings and start to fly. 'Cause you just need to love the life you're living. Step into the light. And now it's time for you to step in.
A silver lining amidst a rain cloud at the end of that first half for Big. They find the final round of first half. 4 is what they can work with. It's been a pretty difficult map for them so far, and it hasn't helped that Naomi and Kiara both touting 14 kills apiece. And look how aggressive NIP are on this pistol. They are cruising for a bruising.
Bruises is what they may yet get. Naomi chunked devastatingly low to kick things off. Aggression may yet have... Backfired isn't the word, but it's given them pause, at the very least. Start to see some space taken over towards Banana here. Decent little belter util for this potential exec. Naomi just gets deleted, absolutely run over. Exec util comes out. We've got a bit of a crossfire potentially set up here, but not allowing it to become a cross. Kiara, now she's snapping the wrist. Now she's snapping heads. Down to 3 kills, but unfortunately can't get too much more done, but she has done so much. She's given a lot of time for the rotation to come through, and Vilga picked up a kitten this round. They were certainly expecting to have the possibility now. Aim's given away her position, spotted out both players. Swings on her own, a little bit questionable on that one. Now Vilga caught in a really tight spot. And of course, NIP know they just need to play the time. It's Vilga that has to walk out in front of them, and they'll take advantage of that. It felt so doable, but I think Mia gets a bit too eager on that one.
I don't know if Mia's the problem there. Kiara, what more can she do? And when you look at that bait setup over towards the B bomb site, Naomi dies early here. And even though it's an unfortunate early death, and brought down maybe quicker than what she would have wanted to do, it's supposed to bait in Kiara and Zana. Issue is, one of them didn't exactly put pen to paper, and Zana's having a very, very, very difficult time, only sitting on 2 kills. I said she was the the second best AWPer in ESL Impact coming into this finals, and so far on Mirage, when the goings got tough, she isn't delivering on the defense. When she brings out the big green, I need to see, you need to see something coming out from her as a win capacity, win potential for NIP. That's the first pistol round for Big EQUIPA, and what an important time to win it out.
Vilga's been forced into a really tight spot here. Still brave enough to try and take some of these fights, but not crazy enough to overstay the welcome. Does go for a re-swing. It's a difficult battle to win out on, and it will be Viku that comes out victorious. Got the stack moving their way towards Banana here, trying to get in behind, maybe catch the NIP ladies off guard, but they're ready, they're waiting. As soon as that corner is turned, it should be a little bit of a firing gallery. There you go, Amzan, gonna pad the stats a little bit here. desperately needs it. She's also having a bit of a rough one between Emson and Zana. It's been a little difficult to watch, but the rest of the players are picking up the slack.
As a saying in the UK,
Is there? Go on.
the clash of trash.
Okay.
But AWP out for Zana. This is a very, very important point in time for her. It's a tactical pause from Big. I would assume, more than anything, to get Mr. MSN on the microphone and just to talk about their game plan going into this second half. Choreograph what they want to be doing in this first gun round. This is the first time Big have won a pistol round. They've got the momentum going into this first gun round. Zana with the big green needs to find impact right here, right now, before it's too late.
Starting to have those flashbacks again to the previous map. Somehow Big were able to maintain control despite how everything spiraled away from them in that one. Can NIP do the same here? If they lose this map, they're out. And it's Big who stand on the final stage to play against MIBR. So NIP need to keep that in mind. But somewhere in the back of the mind. Don't want to let that be the crumbling force. This is a heavy reinforcement. They get that little bit of information towards bottom banana, and off the back of that, they've pulled all of their forces over towards the A site. And with that deep smoke, it also means that they can hold banana a little bit more cheekily as well. So now 4 strong to try to stem this tide.
It's a big nade. Misses the mark. That's actually imperative that that nade doesn't connect because Zana's still standing. But look at this from the T side of Big EQUIPA. They're disengaging, but as they're doing that, NIP are re-engaging.
Taking that space that's given over towards them. And now as that's happening, Vilga retreats from banana, tries to call reinforcements from the rest of her team, but many of them have fallen, so she now knows she needs to be that last bastion, and she crumbles. The walls of Jericho have fallen. And the last 2 players now make that move up banana to try and close the distance. They've got the kit available. Zana hasn't had an opportunity to do something, and unfortunately a retake with an AWP in hand is a very difficult task to mount. With aim dying there, there's not much more for Zana to do except die. And that's a round that goes maybe in an unexpected fashion. Maybe some of you in the know knew, but it's Big clawing their way back in.
That felt like the opportunity. As soon as Big start leaving and start maybe opening gaps, NIP had the timing. Kiara gets that opening kill, but the reaction then from the T side, and especially Emsan with this Mac 10, 3 kills in an imperative round to be getting. NIP take a tactical pause. They give themselves a deep just respite. Take 30 seconds. Not even necessarily a timeout to call a strategy, just a timeout for the mental. You've got Vilga, one of the most, probably the most experienced player in the whole of the women's scene. She's won 6 ESL Impact finals, 3 of them against Hanka and Viku, the other 3 against Olga and Furia. So whoever is in that grand finals, it's a familiar face.
It's a grudge match. So this is also a little bit of a grudge match. The few times that these cores have come up against each other, it has been a little bit back and forth. I think the last time was last year though, so it's been a moment since they've had the opportunity to go toe-to-toe again. This should be a round where Big even out the scoreline. Because NIP don't have terribly much into this one. Maybe Kiara can farm up a little bit. She's in a good spot for it as well. Some well-placed util will very quickly flush her off of that angle. This could end in utter disaster.
Need to be very, very careful here. I'm actually quite terrified. Vilga's got a flashbang, but she's moved away. She's not got it prepped.
Ooh.
And what is going on here? Astra is in the CT smoke. The rest of her team are going over towards the A bomb site. Astra's killing them on B, but there is one lonely soldier here. Mia Cooper with the 5-7, gets the first. Astra's been dealt with, and there is a rifle to be collected. She's being held for. This should be an easy shot, but Viku misses and, okay, does it with the Glock anyways. I was amusing an unwinnable situation, but because of that, because of Viku getting a hat trick of frags, it's 8-8. It's 8. Tied game. It's been 2 years since Hanka and Viku were in an ESL Impact Grand Finals where they lost to Vilga. Revenge certainly is a dish best served cold.
That round does go the way we anticipated, but it's kept uncomfortably close. Viku has consistently been terrifying over the course of the weekend. You've kept bringing up Kiara, and with good reason. But unfortunately, when all the pieces aren't working as well as they should be, the machine not well oiled, there's a scraping, grinding sound where it should be a sweet whirring hum.
Just hold on here though, because Big, as they're taking banana control, they're walking into a potential trap being laid by NIP.
All right, Viku, full blind. Shot connects onto Naomi. Now Zana given another chance to step up. And unfortunately trips, falls over her own feet, and gives over the advantage.
Emsan hears aim as well. Emsan's got all of this information. Mouths a motor saying, I've heard them running away.
It's a free and clear A bomb site. Nothing to slow them down apart from their own intuition and care. They'll move on, the bomb will go down, and NIP will back away.
Zana's had the AWP out twice now, and in both times has struggled. In this round, there was a good set play from NIP. Naomi gets flashed in to Banana by Vilga, and Viku kills her full blind.
That's one of those things of like, what can you do there, right? We had a plan, like, but like, meh.
Yeah, you had a plan. The plan works, and they hit a full blind shot. Zana on the other side, on the other hand, though, overextends, get caught in no man's land, and this hunt is brutal. Oh my god, Viku spams Vilga through the wall. Tech9 out. Kiara just about fends off the wolves. 17 HP. She saves the AWP for Zana. She needs to start creating magic with that because Kiara has really done everything to keep it into the next round.
You know what they say? Everybody's got a plan till you get punched in the face. That certainly was a punch in the face. Left, right, good night indeed. And now for the first time in a hot minute, Big take the lead in the round. Oh my god, Vilga just runs straight into Viku's crosshair. I mean, she's on a pistol, I get it. Oh, okay, Zana, those are the ones you hit?
Finally, Zana connects. It's the battle of the AWPers, but Viku overextends, walks straight into Kiara's welcoming arms. Kiosa, though, that is a sharp rebuttal. Clean first bullet headshot. And that leaves Naomi isolated on the B bomb site with very little rotations. The cavalry will not be there to support her. And she's got a single deagle at her disposal. But because Big have actually taken so long, that's allowed Zana to rotate in. But with this AWP, should just be blocked out by the smokes in CT.
Both smokes have been deployed. That forces her to reposition over. Will they read into that? They're making a lot of noise here. I know they still need to clear the site. Playing distraction, but Zana not willing to peek unnecessarily. finally seeing her come alive. 2 kills in this round, but it's 2 versus 2. There's so much more to be done. AIM gets the kill onto Kiosa. Hanka has to hold the line. It's her turn to be the bastion, the wall that stands between her team and double digits, and it is a disgusting spray down that makes it happen. 10 rounds on the board for Big EQUIPA, and NIP feel their chances of grand finals slowly walking away from them.
That's just what she does. Hanka is just having one of those events, having one of those tournaments where she can simply do no wrong. It certainly does help when the opposition have 43 combined HP in that 2 versus 1. It's very difficult. You kind of feel bad for NIP because they lose the clutch, but Hanka had all the advantages there.
Yeah.
And she just taps it in, winning clutches left, right, and center, no matter who they're against, no matter what day it is. And NIP, they just venture into the belly of the beast. Hell lies on the other side, and it's called Hanka.
Oh, he's a kitty and a panda plushie. It's very cute. What's up, Big?
Moin, Jungers.
Love the excitement, the passion. You all know the truth. 3 rounds. And NIP now. I talk about the knife's edge. This is it. The ice is cracking. Jesus, Zana. Welcome to the party. And Naomi keeps that numbers advantage alive. They've locked out this A site for the moment. Zana now forced to reposition. A beautiful Molotov to force Kiosa back. Does a little bit of extra damage onto her. Makes her a bit more squishy. Okay, Emson. Deletes Zana with a rifle. Big, you cannot count them out, even when they're at the disadvantage. Now Vilga has repositioned in, but gets swung on by Kiosa. Kiosa with 3 in this round. Can she make it a 4th? As that bomb does get planted by ASTRA, holding for the library swing, holding for that player, spots her out, knows that Naomi is on the way, cannot afford to give this round over, and she won't. 4 kills. A nasty final shot. 11 for Big.
Kiosa, all things considered, has been pretty dormant this tournament, this series.
Yeah.
She was phenomenal in the online stage, like everyone was on Big. But damn, these last 2 rounds, her first bullet accuracy has been mouth-watering. Onto Kiara, onto anyone. Just look at how confident she is and look at how crisp she is. She is sinking her teeth into possibly her first ever Grand Finals appearance. Only 2 rounds away. And even though Hanka is battered and bruised by the shrapnel, try as she might, she finally does fall. They've slain the beast. It's an advantage for NIP, but look at the lack of weaponry. Look at the lack of utility. No kit. Sure, it's a 5v4, but it's not exactly an advantage.
That's why we're opting not to get too cheeky with this one. It's not the first time Hanka has found herself in a position ahead of the rest of the team. I'm not saying out of position, but ahead. And unfortunately, suffering for it. But can NIP pivot off of that? They draw Big EQUIPA onto this site. Naomi trying desperately, ducking and diving around the smokes, but it's all been a play. Something to pull her out into the open. She takes the bait. And it leaves NIP once again at a severe disadvantage with the bomb down. And as you said, no kit. Kiara advances ahead of the Molotov here, hoping that garnering this little bit of extra space might just be the surprise that they need, but she can't afford to push out. There's nothing left here for them. No flashes to get them through smokes. Nothing really to play off of. And Zana's left all alone. Will she even be allowed to hold on to this final vestige for the last round? Map and series point on the horizon here. Actually,
That's a bomb. Or Kiosa, that worked as well. The youngsters really coming out to play with crispy haircuts being dished out. And on ESL Impact's 10th Grand Final, the final grand final, for the first time since the first one way back when, we are going to have 10 players who have not won a trophy yet. It's not necessarily a new team wins a trophy. It's 5 new players will be lifting that ESL Impact trophy for the first ever time. And on both sides of the spectrum, individuals have come so close, yet so far. This is their time for retribution, but for NIP, they're gonna have to do something truly magical, because this is just a repeat of Dallas. Great in the regular season, great in the group stage, make it to the semifinals, and unfortunately lack that composure. It's a very difficult purchase. They've got 4 rounds they need to win on a trot, and Hanka, again, the utility and the artillery impede her progression, but that happened last round, and it didn't exactly matter.
All right, NIP, home crowd, you need to get loud. 4 rounds is what your team needs, Sweden, to have that chance at a 3rd map. So make sure that they hear you. We've got the first kill now, numbers advantage available. Oh, thanks, guys. Taking some of the space now. Oh, rough spot for Kiara to be caught out in. That's the raid boss. And it's a free rotation in on towards the site. Aim and Zana are so deep, they're going to get wrapped on. And there's literally nothing that you can do at that point. The site capitulates. The final 2 players are so far removed from one another. Naomi's in position, but she's been smoked off. That's okay. There's time for that smoke to clear, for her to meet back up with Vilga.
They have no kit, they're not together. This just seems, unfortunately, unwinnable for NIP.
It's not over yet, Freddy. Not till the fat lady sings. And you haven't sung yet. Flash has come out. Allow them in on towards the spike. Viku gets 1. Naomi trying so hard, gets a double, but cannot get anything more. Gets shut down, shut out. And big EQUIPA against all odds. We had NIP coming in as the favorites, not them. The Roaring Bears will certainly roar today as Big take 1 step closer to that trophy.
And look what it means to them. The team that on the